How's it going? So this has been on my mind for a while now, and I just want to get it out basically. So, what I see a lot of people don't get this concept of reality. And I'll try to explain what I mean by this. Let's say we ask a person, like it could be a lady, it could be male, doesn't matter, right? To do a specific project, and we provide the funding for the project. So let's say we want to create reusable rocket, self-driving car that is affordable, cheap, uses cameras, vac train, which is this thing here. It's basically a train in a vacuum tube. Well, you know what I'm talking about. It starts with hyper. Create cancer cure, right? So that's the project. We give the budget. We say, okay, can you do this? The person says, yes, I can do that. How long? Approximately 5 years. How much do you need? Let's say 3 billion. Fine. Here's 3 billion. Here's 3 years. Knock yourself out. Okay? So in science, it's very simple. Let's just do an analysis. In 3 years, after spending 3 billion, let's say the project was to create a vac train. We can look at it and say, was the vac train delivered in 3 years? The answer is no. How much was spent? 3 billion. Well, let's talk about reusable rockets, okay? Let's say create reusable rockets and deliver humans to Mars. Okay? So we can look at it and say, okay, 10 years ago, it was said that we're gonna land humans on Mars in 2024. Rockets are gonna be reusable. It's gonna be as cheap as a plane. We look at it and we say, okay, are there deliverables? The answer is no. There's nothing there. Therefore, it's a total fail. Okay, because there is no contribution to society. No new technology has been invented. We can even look at the technology and say, okay, is this technology superior to what we had before? The answer is no. It's actually inferior most of the time. So in science terms, we can say, okay, this was a complete waste of time, and this person is not that competent, okay, as a leader or whatever, as a person. But this is this side here. This is the scientists. This is minority community. But in here, there seems to be some weird shit happening, right? They say, hey, but this person sold his company for a lot of money, build a company that hires a lot of people, and make people believe that he can do those things, these magical things here, okay? So in science, we say, did he deliver in the budget within the time frames? Even if we extend the time frames, is it reasonable to assume that this person is going to deliver it? And the answer is no. So that's a fail. But somehow, if you make money and make people believe you can do it, it counts as a success in simpleton society. This part, I scratch my head. Well, I understand why they do it, because they're just like... Now, why this is completely useless? You have to understand, this is completely, totally useless. Because we can print the money. You have to remember, now, I understand that simpletons think that money is backed by gold, that there is some kind of, diamonds backing every... You have to understand, we are living in society where currency is IOU. It's a promise that somebody somewhere is going to pay. I'm not going to get into details because I already told you, like, there is people that are just so low on the IQ, it's pointless to even explain. But people who get it, they know what I'm talking about. It's not rocket science. Our currency is printed paper, and it's only backed by the trust in the society. That means you're going to deliver on your promise and economic growth. This is how advanced civilizations function, because we can't do gold standard, because gold standard is a speed limit. It has a speed limit, because if you have 5 different projects, All of them can be delivered, but there is not enough gold in the reserves. You can only do one project. Do you understand? Even though all 5 are available, they can create jobs, advance society forward. We can't do it. Not enough, not enough precious metals to back up the currency. It's not a tangible system. Every country that is advanced has already moved away from it. But it requires trust, and it requires people to deliver. I'm not going to go into economic discussion of the gold standard versus none. Bottom line, our currencies are IOUs. Alright, we can print that shit. Okay? So if you're been given money and resources to deliver on a project, making company and selling it to simpletons who buy pretty much anything. I mean, we have Counter-Strike gambling problems right now. People buy skins for 5,000 euro of a gun. So selling shit to simpletons is really not that difficult because they're not very smart, right? But you have to understand, delivering cancer cure is useful. Okay? Delivering something like a vac train, which probably can't be, with technology we have right now, can't be done. So let's leave it at that. But getting people to believe that you can do it doesn't change the fact that it can't be done. The technology has not been invented yet. Right now, creating technology is a different story to making simpletons believe you can do it. And then selling your company and selling your shares for shitloads of money because they think that someday you're going to do it. Even though there is zero tangible evidence to suggest that you can actually do it. Now, where have we seen this before? We have seen cult leaders claiming they can cure cancer, they can cure Alzheimer's disease, grow legs, whisper in your ear, and all of a sudden your hearing is gonna come back. Do you understand? There is no tangible evidence that they can do it because most of the time you have to have medical intervention. Alright? The medical centers are not staffed with miracle workers that gonna whisper in your ear and all of a sudden all your problems are gonna disappear. They are staffed with medical professionals. Okay, but simpletons, there's a good, let me just find this video, 1 second. Okay, so there are 2 videos on this. The Dark World of Megachurches by James Janney is very, very good for this topic. And Televangelist, which just has slightly comical angle on it, by Last Week Tonight. Same concept, very similar. Depends on which one. Both of them are good. Like if you want to have something to watch in the pastime, I'll link them in the description below. But bottom line, simpletons believe in a lot of stuff which is just like when you think about it, it's just like it's so like it's, and people exploiting them is another story. But like fundamentally, what I'm saying is that, if you are tasked with a project and you don't deliver it, and your argument is, hey, but simpletons think that I can do it, and now I'm rich and I have a lot of money and a lot of simpleton ladies like me. In science, that's still a fail. Because again, there is no tangible deliverables. And you say, I'm rich, we can print money. Okay? That doesn't do anything. The only thing you can say, okay, they created jobs. That's the only thing that's the only thing you can think of that is positive of this. But when it comes to science, it's still a fail because we have made zero advancements whatsoever. And if we really want to create jobs, the governments can create jobs if they want to, right? So there was really, when you think about a shift in society where there has been some kind of tangible benefits that will revolutionize society, zero has been delivered. Therefore, it's a complete fail. Complete fail. Because this category is like, some people are like, yo, I made so much money, I have a Lambo. What do you do? I sell cocaine to kids. That's a fail. A complete fail. But I have a private jet. It's still fail. Because most scientists don't do that. Do you not think we can not synthesize a drug that you're going to inhale, and then the only next thing you're going to be thinking about is how soon will I get another shot of this shite. We can synthesize that shit so easy and get people hooked. And the only thing they're going to be doing is living their life to buy more of that shite. But we don't do that because it doesn't do anything. Manipulating simpletons is not that difficult. Right? So what I'm saying is that, right? Deliver on your shite. Like, I just don't like this mentality here. I really, what I'm saying is, if you don't deliver on what you promised, selling a company for $1 million to simpletons doesn't really. It's like, imagine, okay, I probably think of it as a college professor. You are tasked to build a robot that can help, that can push, well, let's say, okay, build a robot that can help paralyzed people do shopping. So something like that. Like, people who are in a wheelchair, help them do shopping, pre-program it, there is simple route, and get this done, right? The guy comes back to you, nothing is done, and you're just like, hey, where's the robot? And he's like, oh, but I made a lot of money in the process, now I'm rich. But I'm like, but where's the robot? It's like, it's gonna be next year. I'm like, well, your deadline is due. Where's the robot? He's like, next year. But I'm rich. I'd be like, fine, okay, let's wait next year. Next year comes, there's still no robot, but now he's even more rich because people believe that he can do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, where's the robot? And now, okay, let's look at your work, and you realize it's basically kindergarten level of technology there. Like, to build something like this takes like 3 months of first year robot, like student who can build robots, like first years can do it, right? And this guy is supposed to be like doing doctor's PhD in robots, and that's the only thing he has shown for himself in 2 years. And his argument is like, hey, but I'm rich. Where's the robot? And like, that's what I'm saying, is that this is like, this doesn't count as success. I don't know, some people, our society, like this, people on social media, they think that this is success. It's like, no, it's not. Because there's no deliverables. Like, we're still in the same spot as we were before. There was a zero progress done. So like, I'm just kind of puzzled by it in a way, you know? Maybe I outgrew this whole Lamborghini and, you know, models and whatever, private jets, but I mean, it's so obvious to me that, I mean, if you're tasked with doing something and the guy just doesn't do it, but just sells, believe that he can do it to simpletons, it somehow is an excuse. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, but I think I'm asking too much from society, to be honest with you. It's one of the things that I probably maybe need to tone down a little bit my expectation, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the reasons why I can't work, I struggle to work in gigantic companies, because in big companies you have this thing where people progress. It's typical bureaucracy where people progress not based on their competency, but based on how long they are in a role. Do you know what I'm saying? So one thing, like, when somebody tells you nonsense, it's easier to hear it if a person is like YouTuber. Do you know what I mean? Like, he has like, I don't know, 1,000 followers, whatever. But when a dude who has like 3 million followers, he has some big gigantic media company claims that he's a genius, and he's just sitting there spitting nonsense, it's very difficult to listen to this, because you would think that, okay, a person with such a authority would not be doing that. It's the same shit in the companies, is that a person like started working when he was 16, he's still not very smart, but he'd been there for 20 years, he's gonna be like a vice president of something, and he's just sitting there spitting nonsense. And you realize that this guy is getting paid 200,000 or 150,000, and he's still not a very intelligent person. Do you know what I mean? And it's very difficult to swallow sometimes. So But I don't know, honestly, it's just like I'm happy enough with scientific community. We're doing so great right now. Like, I mean, ChatGPT vaccines we created is amazing, and the processors lately are just technology is just through the roof. So this is just kind of like a, I don't even know, it's some kind of clown fiesta, this part here. But I'm just saying that, you know, if people think that, hey, I'm rich and I have a private jet, therefore it's okay not to deliver on what I've been budgeted to deliver, it's like, that's not the task. Do you know what I mean? It's a fail. Okay? Take care. Bye bye.